Presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
Their history unmatched. Their success legendary. Their classic pinstripe uniforms worn by some of the best to ever play the game. The Bambino, DiMaggio, Mickey, Jeter. 27 world championships, including one against our beloved Padres. Fast forward 2016. Ninth inning heroics. The Padres and Andrew Cashner look for a rare sweep today. The Padres, the Yankees.
Drive, deep left field off the bat of Melvin Upton Jr., and that is a walk-off win for the San Diego Padres.
And we welcome you to Military Sunday, presented by USAA, as Upton and the Padres celebrate the walk-off home run last night. As New York and the Padres complete this three-game series at beautiful Petco Park on this early July Sunday. And a happy holiday weekend to all of you. Thank you for joining us. Dick Enberg and Mark Grant. And we hope your holiday runs through tomorrow and you celebrate properly and fully with your entire family. And the Padres are ready to celebrate a day early. They have not had a sweep all season long and have a chance today against the Yankees.
And sweeping the Yankees, I don't care if they're a good team or playing poorly, they are below 500. But to have the series they've been having recently, the first two games going the Padre ways, and winning last night in the dramatic fashion, that was really special for this Padre team.
Melvin Upton, 3 walk-off homers this year, a Padre record.
And when you talk about the dramatics, yes, he's a guy who loves the fastball. He's a guy who's got power to all fields. Right center field, getting that bat through the zone nicely. And then off of Andrew Miller last night, Andrew Miller up to this point has only given up 4 home runs on the season. That's number 5. Opponents only hitting 153 off the lefty Miller, who's been throwing around trade talks for the Yankees. A lot of people need those left-handed relievers, but I tell you what, Melvin Upton Jr. turned that one around. Everybody goes home happy. Now today, the Padres going for the sweep right here at Petco Park against the Yanks.
And it's time now for our Military Take the Field by USAA. We welcome 9 drill instructors of Echo Company, 2nd Recruit Training Battalion, Marine Corps Recruit Depot here in San Diego. It's always a special part of these Military Sundays at Petco, and for the players most of all to be able to personally thank each of the military for their service to our great country. Here's the Yankees starting lineup today, brought to you by Hyundai. Ellsbury, Gardner, Teixeira, and McCann hitting in the cleanup spot, followed by Starlin, Castro. Didi Gregorius has been the hottest hitter of all the Yankees. Then the switch hitting right fielder Aaron Hicks. Ronald Toro Reyes will play at third base and hit 8th, as Chase Headley not in the starting lineup. And young Chad Green makes a rare starting appearance for the Yankees.
Hey, look who's on the hill. Welcome back. The Texan, Andrew Cashner, 29-year-old, making his 12th start against the Yankees. Hey, he's got to work ahead, and probably about 80 to 90 pitches. Talked to Andy Green before the game, and he said it's probably going to be south of 100, depending on how Andrew responds today. So 80 to 90 pitches for the right-hander.
Yeah, let's remember that he came out of the game with that bad neck, and that was on June 10th, so almost 4 weeks on the shelf. As we get set to go here on a sunny Sunday, and the Padres need to break their habit on Sundays. They're 1-11. Jacob Ellsbury hitting .274, leads it off, and here's the first pitch of the game, and it's outside ball 1. Ellsbury leading his team in triples and stolen bases. And he lines a base hit to left field. That'll fall in front of left fielder Dickerson. And the Yankee leadoff man is aboard as we check the Padres defense. Brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. Dickerson in left field making that last play on one hop with Upton in center and Kemp in right. The infield, Solarte and Ramirez guard the left side. Schimpf and Myers at second and first. And Derek Norris behind the plate for Cashner. Brett Gardner, the left fielder, in this left-handed hitting dominant lineup of Joe Girardi. Leads the team in walks. Add that for his on-base percentage of .356. It is quite unusual. Here we are. This will be the halfway mark, the 81st game of the season for the Padres to win only one game of 12 on Sundays. And turn that around for Andy Green.
Yeah, turn it around on a Sunday and hopefully a win to sweep the Yankees, which would be nice.
And that's the other unusual factor. They do not have a 3-game sweep all season. Outside, 2-0. Girardi's Yankees are now 39-41. They're going to finish below 500 at the midseason break for only the second time in 21 years.
Yeah, high expectations every year. We all know that when it comes to the New Yorkers, especially the pinstripers.
Another big crowd on hand. A couple of sellouts Friday and Saturday night. That one misses, and a 3-0 count to Gardner. He's the patient hitter. Park in the park, the lawn out there, well occupied. An early 4th of July picnic for those fans. There's a strike.
Well, let's keep an eye on Andrew Cashner today, getting through the pitches. That one's a darn good pitch at 95 at the knees. See if he follows through, not cutting things short. He got through that one nicely with the shoulder and the neck and the head. Very nice.
Infield positioned up the middle, looking for 2.
You know, another thing going the Padres' way is the Yankees are just 2-7 against National League opponents this season. Not doing well against the senior circuit.
Padres 5-3 all time against the Yankees here at Petco. Ellsbury with his lead. He does not go, and the pitch is in there. Gardner looked at a pretty good one. Teixeira next. He of 399 home runs.
You know, the one thing I always look back on a pitcher coming off the DL is the velocity and the location. Seems like Andrew Cashner is spot on right now with both.
Ellsbury goes, and ball 4. So a single and a walk, and the Yankees threaten early. Here's Teixeira.
Kind of yanked that last pitch.
Quinn Walcott behind the plate this afternoon with crew chief Carlson at first, DeMuro at second, and Hoberg over at third. Teixeira having a lean year, batting just .187. Take strike 1. Hitting .172 from the left side. But what's not on that graphic is 399 career homers. Another long ball, 400. That puts him in exclusive company. Also a good possible double play candidate. He rips that foul. Watch out. Get your gloves out.
Looks like he was kind of cheating on that fastball there. Checking to see if he broke that shillelagh of his. Didn't have that clean, crisp sound. Let's check it out. Little cut fastball off the end of the bat.
Cashner ahead on the count, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Cashner with his first punch out on the comeback. Big strikeout brings up Brian McCann.
Well, after the first 2 runners, first 2 batters are aboard, that's exactly what Andrew Cashner wants to do, is go for that strikeout. Now the double play still in order. The grounder, get out of this little mini mess.
McCann homered in game 1. .231 hitter on the season. Today's cold hard facts are brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Major league leader since 2005, career home runs by catchers. McCann by far and away leading that list.
Well, he loves the fastball. Breaking ball in the zone. He'll be able to turn on it. And Yankee Stadium is a good place to hit.
Swing and a miss. 0-2.
That's a nice curveball from Andrew Cashner. What are you doing?
Two on, one out. 2-strike pitch coming up. Fly ball, center field. Upton has a beat on it. Runner's tag. And it's just a bluff. They'll not try to advance. Strong throw by Upton on the fly all the way to third base. Crowd reacting to that. A look now at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Okay, the first one I want to go 2 for 1. Cash in on Green. Well, cash in. Hopefully Andrew Cashner has a great outing. And then cash in on Green, meaning Chad Green. Get to him, the kid with the 7.20 ERA.
And that'll make the other Green in the dugout happy, right?
There you go. Absolutely, Professor. And who doesn't like a homer? Right?
I like it.
Hit a homer. It happened
like
yesterday. I love homers. Hit a homer, and chances are you're going to win a ball game.
And chicks love the homers.
Chicks dig the long ball.
Oh, they dig them. I'm sorry, they don't love them. They dig them. I get that wrong every time. Starlin Castro is the hitter at .250 with 10 home runs. First right-handed batter to face Cashner in the lineup. That's a strike. Interestingly, Cashner, and it's hard to believe, his work against right-handed batters, they're hitting .320 off him, and left-handers hitting 107 points lower. How does that?
You know what? When I look at that, maybe he's just catching too much of the middle of the plate and throwing away a lot, where guys feel comfortable, right-handers, and taking that ball up the middle and the other way. Could be just one of the reasons why.
Foul back, and he's jumped in front of Castro, 2 strikes. So he took the advantage away from Teixeira and McCann with early strikes, and the same now with Castro. Ellsbury still out at second, Gardner at first.
You know, I'm not saying that that's the end all, but when I see numbers like that, to me, right-handers are just feeling comfortable at the plate with middle away and taking them that way.
Castro crowds the plate as he steps into the ball. Ooh,
now there's
what
nothing,
happens.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a pitch like that.
He's stepping into it. You know, that inside part of the batter's box belongs to the pitcher too. Gopher Cam chronicling that. He's back. Bucky the Gopher. Yeah. He loves it down.
Best seat in the house.
He's got his military camouflage uni on today. 1-2 the count. In the dirt. Norris scoops it out, and that gives us a chance to salute Derek Norris. ESPN has voted him the Major League Defensive Player of the month of June, not just the National League, but the entire big leagues, for his work, especially in digging the ball out of the dirt.
Congratulations to Derek Norris.
Only 3 wild pitches and 99 pitches that he blocked in the course of June. So 2-2 with 2 on and 2 out. Strike 3 call. Welcome back, Andrew Cashner. 2 on, no out, and no runs in. That ball's hit well way back, and Upton will touch them all. To the wall, home run. No, he pulled it back!
High drive, deep left field off the bat of Melvin Upton Jr., and that is a walk-off win for the San Diego Padres.
Boy, quite a homestand for Melvin Upton with the glove, with the bat. And the first time ever a Padre has hit 3 walk-off home runs in a season, and he's done it in a half a season. Here is the Padre lineup brought to you by Toyota. Upton will lead it off today with Myers, Kemp, then Solarte in cleanup, Dickerson, Norris, and Schimpf. Ramirez bats 8th, and then pitcher Andrew Cashner. Against Chad Green, his first pitch is high, ball 1. Green is 25 from the University of Louisville, only his second big league start. His last against Arizona was a month and a half ago. There's a strike, 1-1. He went 4 innings and allowed 6 runs, 4 earned. Upton last night, that was his 13th homer of the season. 1-2 the count.
How appropriate. He ended it last night with the last final swing, and then he leads it off today for the Padres.
Will Myers jumping into the on-deck area. Swing and a miss. So Green starts the game with a strikeout of Upton. And a check of the scouting report on Chad Green.
Let's take a closer look. This kid throws hard. All 6'3" of them. Throws across his body. 4-seamer and a slider. He's got arm side run. What that means, the ball in his hand is arm side. The ball has a tendency to run into the right-handed hitters away from the lefties.
It's certainly a good quality to have, as Myers, leading the Padres in every significant statistic, steps in and takes ball 1. National League Player of the Month, that announced after the game on Friday. The ambassador, the Padre ambassador to the All-Star game, and certainly he's going to be one of the members of the National League team. That'll be announced on Tuesday. The American and National League clubs, and they'll just be the one piece of business. They vote on that one extra player for each league, right? Well, you still got a chance. You got your eligibility. I know that. 2-1.
Well, Will's the type of kid where he can turn the page. Okay, he had a great June, off to a good start in July. Keep it going. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. What other cliche can I throw out there, Professor?
That's good enough right there. We'll keep working though. Chop to third. Torreyes across for the second out. And that'll bring up Matt Kemp. Yankees defensively behind Chad Green have Ellsbury, center, Gardner in left, and Hicks in right. Torreyes at third base, Gregorius the shortstop. Castro at second and Teixeira at first. Brian McCann behind the plate for Green. Kemp, .255 average as we open this Sunday action. Shift on. Even the umpire has shifted in on the left side, so they got 3 players and an umpire over there. So
there's the umpire right there, and as you mentioned, Dick, 1, 2, 3.
Wide open to the right side, daring him to go that way. Swing and a miss, 1-1. He did on a check swing go the opposite field last night for a double that tied the game. He wound up at second base with the biggest smile we've seen all season long. Just popped one over the first baseman's head. Ooh, fouled off catcher McCann.
Okay, Matt Kemp, here proves my point. If he hits it, it's a double. Look at on contact. Look at where that bat is on contact. If you were to stop the bat where that ball hit it, that just proves that the ball can be put in play, and therefore he hits a double. So in fact, Matt Kemp hit it, and he did hit a double.
Well, that's exactly, you've been preaching that for years. Strike 3 called. Impressive first inning for Chad Green as he retires the Padres in order. No score.
It's almost ridiculous how good he's been in pivotal situations. He's continues to amaze. That's a heck of a swing, and it was the third time, I guess, this year. It's not an easy thing to do, especially off Andrew Miller. Hardly anybody does it off of him. So, heck of a swing, and he's done everything all year long. Stolen bases, played great defense, robbed home runs, hit home runs, had walk-off hits. There's really nothing else he can do at this point in time that's going to shock me.
Andy Green was joking with the media before the game today, saying that you could basically put together an entire highlight reel just of Melvin Upton Jr. and what he's been able to accomplish during this first half of the season. Quite impressive. And of course, getting the start in center field and leading off today. Andy Green said it's hard to find a leadoff guy with John Jay out, giving Travis Jankowski the day off and also getting Alex Dickerson some playing time in left. But he said the last time he had Melvin Upton Jr. in center field leading off, he had a 450-foot home run. Maybe he can do something like that today.
Yeah, maybe the karma's there again today. Thank you, Julie. Here is Didi Gregorius. Count 2 strikes on him. Since June 1st, batting at a .339 clip. We first saw him with Arizona. Gregorius looked like good field and just a slap hitter. He's become a dangerous threat with the bat. He's got 10 home runs this year. Make it 8.
He'll turn on one once in a while and surprise you, no doubt.
It just looks like a better hitter. Gregorius, Hicks, and Correas for the Yankees in the second. New York has been swept only 4 times all year, and as we mentioned, the Padres looking for their first sweep of the season. In position today to accomplish that. Cashner bounces that one, 1-2.
Well, what I'd like to see for Andrew Cashner, remember we talked about that 80 pitch plateau, possibly 90. Definitely going to be under 100, but get ahead and wipe him out. Put him away. No deep counts for Andrew this afternoon.
Oh, 1-2. Slap foul. Yankees, not easy. They had a Sunday night game and then had to come out here. Not Sunday night. It would have been Thursday night game. Had to come out here for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So they got here in the wee hours of the morning. After the game today, they have to fly to Chicago for a day game on the 4th of July tomorrow. So pretty rough schedule for the Yanks. Then they go to Cleveland for 4. Did he go? No. And it's 2-2. Two strikeouts for Cashner in the opening frame.
Oh, that's paint. Wow.
Cashner thought he had him struck out.
That's a good pitch. Four-seamer dotted down and away, getting through it nicely in a nice frame by Derek Norris. Wow. You know what I like? The last 2 pitches, down and away, and then just burying that fastball down and in. And Gregorius really getting tied up on that last pitch.
Full count. And another foul.
Follow Padres Baseball live with the MLB.com @bat app. Stay up the moment, any moment, with game day, live game, video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com @bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
Quite a battle here to lead off the second, the 10th pitch of the at-bat.
4th hitter in a row that Andrew's gone 0-2.
And another foul. Well, great to have our Marine recruits with us up in right field. Military Sundays, the blue camos worn by the Padres. Men and women have a little afternoon off to watch some baseball. Ground ball up the middle. Ramirez can't make the play. We'll see how the official scorer sees it. It's Stretch Ramirez far to his left. He normally makes that play.
You know, I think that's got to be an error. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. Glove is down. My first reaction is I think that's a play that's got to be made. I think Alexei would agree that he's got to make that play.
And so it is ruled E6. Aaron Hicks, switch hitting outfielder. Just 59 at bats. Check that, a little more than that. He's up over 100. But under the 200 batting average. The man on deck, Torreyes, only 59 at bats.
I've noticed already these Yankee hitters having difficulty catching up to that Andrew Cashner fastball. That last swing by Gregorius was a defensive swing. And that fastball right there, fouled off by Hicks, away over the Yankee dugout.
Hicks is a Southern Californian from Long Beach, went to Wilson High School. Trying to think if that's where Tony Gwynn was. Wilson or Poly? Has a base hit right over the head of second base umpire DeMuro. On his way to third is Gregorius, and the Yankees are at the corners to open the second. Solid base hit.
Well, just as I mentioned with the fastball, the two-seam fastball, Hicks gets one down the middle, outer third, about belt buckle high. Using the big part of the field, send it right back from where it came from. That's good hitting by Hicks.
So the Yankees, who had the first 2 men aboard in the initial inning, here in the second with an error and a single. No one out again. Ronald Torreyes, the third baseman, limited duty, hitting .237. Tony went to Long Beach Poly. Wilson High School is right across the street from Blair Field. That's the high school there. Yeah. Home of the Cal State Long Beach Dirtbag team. Hey, a strike, 1-1. As you can see, lots of Yankee rooters here as well today. Ground ball. Oh, almost up the middle, almost hit the umpire. They get a double play and a run scores. Wow. That was shaky. Second base umpire DeMuro, because the play is going to be made at his base, and he's watching the ball and where it might go, and he just did elude this. Look at this. Youch.
Oh, second time in a row. Mike DeMuro having to do the matrix out there.
No RBI for Torreyes. The Padres trade a double play for the run. It's 1-0 New York. An unearned run. Pitcher Green, just a couple of bats. Hits left, throws right. Yankee pitchers interleague play are collectively 1 for 48. He went around. So the Yankees today, Carlos Beltran not in the starting lineup. Chase Headley on the bench to begin. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Third strikeout for Cashner, but the error costs, and it's 1-0 New York. tools of the trade.
Well, usually we talk about hits or defensive plays. How about celebrating after a game? Matt Kemp with the Powerade. Melvin Upton Jr. Walk off. Melvin Upton Jr. Here's another one. Who's the culprit there? Kind of tough to tell. He's wearing the hoodie, but there is a technique. And then after time, you get used to it. Hey, same old story, same old song and dance, but there's a technique to this because Christian Bethencourt, what are you doing? He's trying to work around him? No, you got to go head on. Somebody got it that wasn't deserved of getting poured on, but the tool of the trade is celebrating and dousing the guy, the superstar, who helped with the win.
That one, a soft foul fly just off the dugout of the Yankees. Yeah, Bethencourt, he took a lot of ribbing in the clubhouse. Got to be more accurate than that. That's a lot of wasted liquid. Solarte checking in at 281. He's had much more success right-handed than left, just the opposite of last year. 1-1. Middle of the lineup, Alex Dickerson and then Derek Norris to follow for the Padres. Two and one.
Well, it's amazing what winning can do, and the Padres have been doing just that. Won 8 of their last 12. Padres have averaged almost 6 runs per game in that span. And we take a look at the numbers for Yangervis Solarte with the Yanks. I'll tell you what, he's been a good fit over here in San Diego.
That ball hit well to left field, slicing into the corner. Gardner on the run, and that ball's gone. It carried all the way to the wall and over. Touch 'em all, Solarte. And the Padres tie it up on Solarte's 5th home run of the year. That ball slicing to the shortest part of the yard.
Got just enough of it as Gardner goes back. It's the high fastball from Green. And Solarte realized, hey, there's just as many hits out there the opposite way, and just enough. Just enough for the City.
Chad Green finds the opposing hitter going the short way to left field. And the umpires are going to gather on any home run. And Joe Girardi did come out of the dugout, asked the plate umpire, are you sure it cleared? There wasn't any fan interference. So they're double checking with all the umpires. Did anyone see anything? And now they're going to have to go and have a review. Goodness gracious. Now there's the fan that touches the ball. Did it impact where the ball would have gone had they not touched it? Got all the way to the 2nd inning before our first review today. Progress is being made.
You know what? I saw that one fan with the hands extended, but I think the ball eluded those hands and then hit and then went into the seats. Watch the ball. No, it doesn't touch that fan. I think it
no, there is a fan it touches.
Well, it touches the hat, but not the hands.
And the ball's already hit the top of the wall. And then hits the hands.
I think it hits the hat right there. But I think
it's a home run for Solarte. So much for the drama. Yangervis has his 5th, and the Padres tie it up at 1. And it's always a good sign when the Padres hit a home run.
I like homers.
So does the record book. When they homer, they're 31-19. If they don't homer, they've only won 5 games out of 32. Alex Dickerson. Got a feeling about him today, and I know you do too. You picked him on your pick the stick.
Well, you had Solarte. Congratulations,
well, that was
Professor.
Just a hunch. I'm looking forward to 4th of July too, where I'm really going to clean up.
Is your pick's already in the book?
Oh,
right?
it is. Yeah, it's in there.
I think it's a great idea that you look ahead. You're in the catbird seat right now with Solarte's homer. That's 6 points, right?
Yeah, that'll get me within, I think, 50 of
Professor,
next to last place.
It's a long season.
I know. I'm going to make my move. I'm telling you. I thought it'd be tomorrow, but Solarte's got me kick-started here.
Sol, Arte, sunny day.
Yeah. Tay.
Punch out for me.
4 o'clock. You'll all have Tay. Dickerson goes down. That's the third strikeout for Green. Brings up Derek Norris.
Looked like Chad Green flipped up a changeup there. Looked like a pretty darn good pitch.
Norris, one of the Padres in double figures in that home run column with 10. .94. A lot of life in that fastball from Chad Green. Came over from the Tigers in a trade before the season back in December. 1-1. They got Green and right-handed pitcher Luis Cessa, who's in the bullpen, for the lefty Justin Wilson going to the Bengals. Detroit, by the way, winning again today. They're on a little winning streak, 6 in a row. They're now 5.5 behind Cleveland. The Indians lost today. And did they ever? Toronto won 17-1. Guess that would go into the lopsided category.
Absolutely. That's a laugher. That's a laugher.
Tigers beat Tampa Bay 5-1. Swing and a miss and another strikeout. 4 strikeouts already. Just 5 outs into the game as we go down to Julie. What do you have for us?
Hey guys, well, with the return of Andrew Cashner, the Padres had to make a corresponding roster move, so they optioned infielder Alexi Amarista to AAA El Paso. Andy Green opting to keep the pitching depth up here, protecting arms in games. Also allows him to get a better look at the new additions to the bullpen in Paul Clemens and Jose Dominguez. He says it makes sense going into the All-Star break.
All right, thank you, Julie. And here's Ryan Schimpf. 5 for 35. His first big league home run in the Friday night victory, 7-6 for the Padres, and came through with a double last night in 3 at-bats. Solarte's solo home run to left field, tying the game at 1. 2-0 now the count to Schimpf. So Amarista goes back to El Paso. He was optioned there earlier this year for a few weeks. He's joining a red-hot Pacific Coast League team, hitting .310 as a team. Ground ball to the right side. Nice play by Castro to complete the inning, but it led off this inning. Jan Solarte from the left side makes good contact, and the ball finding the short part of the yard in left field, and we're all even at 1. It's a special day here at Petco Park. Padres leading the way and saluting our military, and that's the new POW Chair of Honor dedicated earlier. It's up in the right field corner to the foul side of the foul pole, and Jack, Captain Jack, joins us. He's been part of the Padres liaison with the military here in our great city, and Jack Inch is a military hero, and if we start reading, and we're going to give you some of his record, we're talking about a man that's won just about every military honor there is, and we're happy you're part of the Padre team, Jack.
Thank you, sir. Well, thanks for the kind words, but the heroes are the guys that didn't come back.
Yeah, and of course you knew the beloved Colonel well, and that's exactly how he felt.
Yes, sir. He and I, we were symbiotic on that.
Well, it was a great ceremony up there, Jack. What was going through your mind? I mean, because we showed you, along with the other gentlemen, and it seemed like it had to be an emotional time for you.
Well, yeah, it's some thoughts. I won't get maudlin here, but as we were going through it, the thoughts of what you went through and what you went through with other POWs, because we were one was helping the other get through and everything like that. So the camaraderie and the support that the POWs, that's what got us through. So
You were shot down in a Korean War, right? And went to the Hanoi Hilton for a while. How long?
Vietnam War.
Oh, sorry, Vietnam War.
You're back with Jerry again.
I go back that far.
No, I was there for the last 8 months of the war. I was lucky. I was shot down on my 4th combat cruise instead of my 1st. Had I been shot down on my 1st combat cruise, 66, I'd have been there 7 years.
Oh my!
So the trade-off is pretty easy. So yeah, I was fortunate. I came home and had a complete life. And that POW chair, the POW MIA chair there, I said before, I think the most important part of the POW/MIA is the MIA now, because we POWs, we came home and we had a full life and still enjoying it. And it's the MIAs, those families that are still going through the agony and the wondering of whatever happened to my loved one. Those are the ones that we have to remember now, not us POWs.
So the actual chair, and how is it marked in a special way? It's hard to, there we go. Oh, with a plaque. So the chair itself cannot be seated in, correct?
No, there'll be a white rope around it, and on the glass in front of the chair, they have etched the POW MIA emblem, as you can see right there. So it will be marked off and
right underneath the United States flag in that right field corner.
And the POW flag.
That's terrific.
Jack, I've got a question for you regarding education. I think it is imperative that the younger generation, it happened so long ago, but yet you're able to go out and speak about what happened.
Yeah.
Do you go out in the community? Do you do certain things to kind of educate people about what you went through and what it meant to our country?
Yeah, I don't wear it on my sleeve. I mean, whether I like it or not, I'm a part of naval aviation and history. So I feel when asked to do so, I have an obligation to go out and do it. I don't, go out and solicit to do it. But yeah, and it's important. I think you're right. It's important that we, because I don't know, I'm not smart enough. Dick can know who the guy that said it was, but those that forget history are destined to relive it again or something like that, And I think that's true. We see that all the time. We in America, we are so short. If it can't done in at least a 2-day series, then we don't want to watch it.
Well, it's like the news today. It's got to be 20 seconds.
That's right. Yeah.
They claim that people don't have a attention span beyond 20 seconds. Come on now.
142 characters or whatever it is.
I remember one day I went and visited the Midway.
Yes, sir.
And I think you and I text one another. You said, "Hey, check out the flight deck because my plane is there."
Yeah.
And I actually went there and I saw your name on the side of the plane. That was quite a treat to see. So people who visit the Midway, they can see the one of the planes one of the jets that Jack flew.
I made my last 2 Vietnam cruises on the Midway and was shot down off of it in '72. But before we got shot down, I got shot down with a pilot that didn't make it. Mike Doyle, God rest his soul. But another pilot I flew with earlier in that May, we got shot down 2 MiG-17s in a dogfight, And so and we got, our squadron got 5 MiGs that cruise, and that's what's on that airplane out there.
Ground ball could be 2. Ramirez gets 1, and now back to first too late. Ellsbury, who had singled, out at second base 6-4 and safe on the fielder's choice is Gardner with 1 out here in the 3rd. We're talking with Captain Jack Ench, United States Navy, Padres Director of Military Marketing. And Jack, 3,000 flight hours, 800 carrier landings, awarded everything from the Navy Cross, the Bronze Star, the Purple Heart, the Air Medal, the Commendation Medal, the Prisoner of War Medal, and they don't want to admit what they gave to this country because there are others who didn't make it the ultimate sacrifice. But believe us, we all love rubbing shoulders with greatness, Captain.
Well, thank you. I accept that on behalf of all my veteran friends. But it was my honor to serve our country, and I feel honored to have be able to represent POWs and naval aviation.
That ball high and foul off the bat of Mark Shahara. And, it excites all of us, and we're so pleased to be part of the voice of why our city and our ball club, the Padres, we're on the forefront of praising the military, saluting the military as well. Sir. We should, and now the other ball clubs around the country are doing the same.
That's one of the things that I take a lot of satisfaction out of, is seeing how this little piece of sourdough bread that we started here has expanded throughout baseball, and other clubs and other sports are doing it too. They've taken a little bit of that sourdough bread and they've gone and baked their own bread. And it's wonderful to see that, I think, because baseball has its roots in the military after the Civil War. That's what our wall down there represents, where the troops during the Civil War played baseball when they weren't fighting, and then they went back to their hometowns and started playing, and that's when people got interested, and that's what started Major League Baseball.
Well, and even some of our troops, when I was in Australia covering tennis, they introduced baseball to Australia.
Yes, sir.
They were the Navy guys that came in and they organized some baseball games.
And we just talked about the colonel, and baseball has gone to war with the military every war since World War I. So,
did you get to know Ted Williams at all? Talking about those who baseball who served in the military.
Yeah. I never got to meet Ted. That's unfortunate, but I had the great love and respect for Jerry Coleman, which we could talk. Oftentimes we talk about things that we wouldn't talk about to other people because we understand where we're coming from, and sometimes you talk about it, people think you're just full of yourself. But
no, there's no question about that generation. I'm sure you've had a chance to go up on Mount Soledad, the tribute to our military up there, and people. We've talked about the fact that you don't have to be someone retired or who has passed away. It can be a current member of the military to salute them up on Mount Soledad.
Yes,
anyone who served in our country, no matter what your rank, qualify for a plaque up there. Both of my uncles were able to honor them up there, and it's a beautiful sight, and isn't it just about as perfect as it can be?
And the view is just beautiful. As a matter of fact, a number of years ago, my family surprised me, and I've got a plaque up there.
Oh, good for you. And we're hoping. They were checking. I said they didn't know if Ted Williams had a plaque up there. I said, if they don't, I want to get him one. But no, for our fans, you have the feeling, I think it's what you're generating here with us today, Captain, that gives us a chance to connect with those that we didn't know but did so much for why we're here today.
That's right. And the military, I've always said, made an analogy that the military is like a relay race. Each generation gets to carry the baton, and they pass that baton on to the generation after them. And so far, in the 237, 35 or whatever odd years that we've been a nation, we've never dropped that baton.
And when you folks tomorrow see our flag, hold our flag.
Yes.
Just remember what that's all about, our independence, and all those going back to day one that gave that to us.
Happy birthday, America.
Yeah, and Jack, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I was thinking about this today when we were honoring America and listening to the national anthem. what runs through your mind every time you hear that song at the ball game or wherever?
Well, it's after my experience over in that unaccompanied shore duty in Vietnam. That's my favorite song of all songs. I mean, nothing against Adele and Sharon, all the wonderful people, but American, that's the best song ever.
Happy 4th of July, Jack. Thank you for spending some time
Thank
with
you,
us.
Bud.
Good to see you.
Take care, bud.
We salute you. We thank you.
Thank you.
Tie ball game, 1-1. Jan Solarte's home run getting the Padres on the board after an error. Gregorius safe on a shortstop error and came around on a double play ball earlier in the game. And as Captain Jack, John Ench, U.S. Navy captain, leaves us, we have another special guest. But first, let's get into this bottom of the third. Alexei Ramirez leads it off with Cashner and then Upton to follow. Well, All-Star game coming up in 9 days. This man, how many times an All-Star, Reggie?
14 or 15. I'm 15, but I didn't come to the one in San Diego.
You didn't.
I had the flu.
Reggie Jackson, Mr. October, and here we are in July. You did pretty well in July as well, as I recall.
Well, if you're going to be around for 20 years, you got to do well all the time.
Now, Reggie, I see you in spring training all the time with the Yankees, ambassador for the club, doing a lot of things for the club. Give our viewers and listeners just a cliff notes of what exactly you're doing for the Yankees.
Go ahead there, Dick.
Well, a little number to the right side and then put out 4-1 with green covering and barely got his big toe on the bag in time.
I have a title of a special assistant or a special advisor to the managing general partner owner. And when you're that with George Steinbrenner, you do what you're told when you're told to do it. So I get a chance to see our entire organization. I go out through the system to see all of our minor league teams and most of the high ceiling talent that we have on the different ball clubs, and make sure that I take a look at our staffs and things like that. Report back to either to the general manager or communicate with the manager as to what's going on down there, and then of course ownership as well. But I may be working with some of the kids when it comes to hitting, or talking to them about how to go about playing the game on the professional level, what's expected as a Yankee, what's expected of you when you get to the big leagues, and anything that really will help the Yankees or talks about what you're doing from the minor leagues to the major leagues and what they expect at the big league level.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, what an opportunity for you. Your love for the game. Well, that might even be an out there. Let's see. Yep, they're going to call him out. He bunted the ball, Cashner, and was in fair territory when the ball kicked back at him. And a quick call from Quinn Walcott, the second out of the inning.
Get outside that batter's box, that ball's in play, and if you get hit just when you're running the bases by a baseball, you're out, and you can do it to yourself.
You know what you just brought me back to? As a kid, listening to when you were doing color during the World Series. So take it away, Reggie.
Well, you see the ball come right out into play, and he's not able to get out of the way of it. It's like we've all done. We're on a golf course. You hit the golf ball and you hit it twice, and it's uh-oh.
Well, I thought you were going to say you described me. I hit the ball and hit myself. You know, hit that tree and it bounced back and hit me.
Those things happen, and that's what's such a great thing about baseball. You talked about the opportunities I have to stay in the game, to be around the game, and looks like we've got another conference here.
I don't think he was out. He had 1 foot and had not touched the ground yet, and he had 1 foot in the box. That was a great view of it because his foot was coming out of the box in the air. So watch his right foot as it comes out of the box. The left foot is in the box, right? Contact, foot in the air still hits him. I think it's a foul ball because his foot was not touching out of the box yet.
I think he's out, and I think he was in play. His back foot was in the air.
Yeah, that was a tight one. At least they didn't delay the game further with another review. What do you think of the whole review process?
I don't like it as much. The last few replays, I think, were pretty easy to see, and I think it could have went along much quicker than it did. The first time it happened yesterday, they said it took 4 minutes.
Seems like 4 hours.
4 minutes and 20 some odd seconds. Yeah. That's too long. It needs to take a couple of looks, make a quicker decision. Because what's important is to keep the fans engaged, get the decisions right, and let's
the rhythm of the game, Reggie. Exactly. You know, the players themselves. As Upton hits that fairly well, but to the right fielder Hicks. He makes the catch. Reggie, we'll see you all-star game, I hope.
Yes, you will. I'll be here.
Thanks for coming by.
Thanks, Reggie.
Always a pleasure, Dave.
Appreciate it.
I wouldn't want to miss it.
Great Reggie Jackson. What a day, huh? Who's next?
Thank you.
Presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by USAA, proudly serving the needs of the military community for over 90 years. By Sequan Casino, sign up for the new Padres Club Card today. And by Mercury Insurance, we're on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com today. So after 3, a 1-1 tie, top of the 4th inning, Starlin Castro, then Gregorius and Hicks for the Yankees in this 1-1 tie. Castro took a 3rd strike his first time. Good cut, fouls it away. 81st game of the season, the midpoint of the year after the final out.
You know, that's a great way of looking at it, Dick, because I know you always say halfway through this one.
Yeah.
We literally halfway through the season.
And this is where the race will start to become interesting. There'll be a lot of changes here and there. Some teams will be acquiring. Some teams will be looking for that big trade that'll help the future. A.J. Preller, the general manager of the Padres, certainly will be reflective on just that fact, because it's been a very busy week again for him and his team. Long ground ball to third. The throw by Solarte. What a stretch by Myers. It took all of his 6'3" frame and long arms to get up at the ball and keep his foot on the bag. Man, that'll pull some of the lower extremity. Solarte had to hurry. The throw high.
Oh, he's off the bag.
Yeah,
then comes down.
Got back down in time.
Yes. Wow. You can see how quickly Solarte, get rid of it. Under it a little bit, and then on the way down, gets him. And Andrew Cashner, tip of the cap to his third baseman. Hey, nice play, Will Myers as well.
Well, he's played a solid first base and seems to improve with every game. He goes around. Strike one. Gregorius safe on an error by Ramirez and scored the Yankee run in the second. Went to third on the single by Hicks and scored on a double play ball. Torres grounded into a 4-3 double play. That ball drilled to right, and at the pole it is gone. Gregorius, we laid out the warning. He's hitting better and better. Since June 1st, a .339 hitter, and that's his 5th home run. And that breaks the tie, 2-1 Yankees. Number 9 on the season for Gregorius.
Little cut fastball looked like, just didn't get in enough. Hey, remember the last at-bat? It was an E6, but Gregorius, he was fouling off pitches inside. The ball that he hit weakly to short, and the error, he got a piece of the bat on the ball, but this one, once again, inside. And inside the fair pole for the home run.
Into the Petco porch, and a 2-1 Yankee advantage here in the 4th.
So he is very, very aware of that fastball in and fouling some pitches off last at bat and connecting on that one.
Scored both of the Yankee runs. Hicks a single to center his first time. For Andrew Cashner, it's the 7th home run he's allowed this year. The 3rd by a left-handed batter. 60th pitch from the big right-hander, and it's 2-1. Padres would consider it a real bonus if he could get 6 innings today. He's had only the one rehab 3-inning start at Lake Elsinore. 3-1.
Well, Andy Green, the manager before the game, said that it was going to be about, under 100 pitches, 80, 90, depending on how Andrew feels and looks. If he's still maintaining the velocity, is he hitting his spots? You could be healthy, Dick, and you know this from watching baseball a lot. You get out on that big center circle, the adrenaline starts pumping. I mean, you go up a different level.
That ball hit well to left center field. A long run for Upton. Still going, can't get there. Ground rule double. Bounces over the fence and hits with his second hit. Lined the single to center, and now a line drive double to left center.
Two-seamer away, up again, and that looked like it was off the end of the bat a little bit. I don't know whether Melvin kind of read that ball off the bat differently, but it looks like he didn't get the best jump on it. I mean, we've seen him make some spectacular plays in the outfield.
He got a late break. He'd taken a false step forward, and then he had to spin, and even with his speed, couldn't get there in time.
Sometimes outfielders are fooled by the sound of the ball off the bat.
Torres, a 4-3 double play his first time. 2-1 New York, trying to salvage the final game of this 3-game series. One and one, 93 on the fastball strike. Now the Padres after the game will take a short flight over to Phoenix and celebrate the 4th against the D-backs indoors. 3-game series there, and then on to Los Angeles for 4. Back to the mound for the second out. And today's game is presented by Sony, the leader of 4K Ultra HD. The pitcher, Chad Green, struck out swinging the first time. Show you how good the Yankee bullpen has been this year. The walk-off home run by Upton last night is only the second time all year the Yankees have experienced a walk-off win by the opposition.
Yeah, they got the old 3-headed monster down there. They call it no runs DMC.
But not last night.
That's right. Dylan Betances, Andrew Miller, Aroldis Chapman. There's the T-shirt. No runs DMC. Walk this way. Walk off this way, I should say.
Miller in the second inning of work. And first pitch, Upton punished in the ninth. Strike 3 called, and that's it for the fourth. But Didi Gregorius, number 9 on the season, and the Yankees lead 2-1. Fourth inning, Myers, Kemp, and Solarte against Chad Green in the home half of the fourth. And busy day in the booth, thank goodness. A very interesting day. And A.J. Preller, the general manager of the Padres, joins us. And the international signing period began over the weekend. And you and your mates have been very busy with a checkbook and a pen.
Yeah, we had a really active day, obviously. On the first day you can officially sign players that are 16 years old on the international side was July 2nd, and yesterday we ended up signing. Those are some names that the fans are looking at right now. We signed some of the best guys in Latin America and throughout the world, so we're excited.
The Padres never have gone into the international market and made that kind of haul.
Yeah, no, it was I think a big day. We feel like organizationally, I think it's something we've been planning for the last year plus. Chris Kemp, our international scouting director, and his group.
There's Myers continuing his line drive hitting. Cutting it off is Ellsbury. Myers will settle for a leadoff hit.
They prepared really well throughout the year, put us in position to have to have the ability to make an impact, and I think it's just kind of consistent with what we've been talking about over the last year. Ultimately, from a talent standpoint, continue building up to get to where we need to get to as an organization, which is got to have numbers. You've got to have a lot of guys, and I think when we look at the draft that we had this past, the early June and then the international period, some of the trades we've been making, we're starting to build it up. You're starting to see it in the minor league system, and it's going to make an impact here in Petco in the future.
AJ, I know it's 5 shortstops, 3 pitchers, and then there's more players, outfielders and catchers, but any reason why you specifically went shortstop heavy, or were these kids just the best type of athletes, baseball / players that you saw?
Yeah, no, I think in general, I think when we're looking at it, I always like to build up the middle and build with with guys that could play the premium positions. But I think those are the guys that we felt like were the best this year at their spots. And I think shortstops, it's again in Latin America, a lot of times kids just naturally gravitate. Almost everybody in tryouts goes to play shortstop. Sometimes you got to filter that out and see who plays, who should be at other positions. But I think kind of traditionally that guys want to be the next impact shortstop. And I know, just in some of the things, you see with other clubs, I've seen in my background, you sign a lot of shortstops, they can go out and play other positions on the field and impact you that way. So,
how many of these kids, and I know you like to get to see them in person, but that's a long list. How many of those have you actually seen on a ball field?
I've seen pretty much everybody we signed, honestly. I think, I had the ability throughout the, really in the last year plus to see a lot of players. Luis Almanzar, shortstop we signed out of the Dominican Republic. He actually has a unique. He came a year ago and he played at American Heritage High School, one of the best high schools in the country for baseball.
Well, here's a look at
Luis right here, and he's a natural hitter. He's a comfortable hitter. It's a right-handed bat. He plays shortstop. You can see him there in the box. How comfortable he is there.
How old is he?
16 years old.
16.
So, and he was a conference player of the year last year as a freshman in one of the top conferences in Florida high school baseball. He went back to the Dominican, where he's from, and we signed him here on July 2. He's got a chance to be a really good player.
Boy, looks like he has good hands.
Yeah.
Huh?
If he could field like that on that parking lot where he was just playing, imagine him playing on a manicured field, even in the minor leagues nowadays, because you know how well manicured these fields are. Yeah. He looks very slick out there.
Yeah, that's the field where Ivan Noboa has a training baseball program, and definitely is not the smooth fields that we see here in the States. And Ivan's developed players such as Nomar Mazara and Jorge Bonifacio, Emilio Bonifacio, some good big leaguers have come off that field, and hopefully Luis Almanzar will be the next guy.
Now, there were also a couple of Cuban players that seem to be highly touted, not just by the Padres, but others, but they have not signed as yet with anyone?
Yeah, it's still the Cuban market's still a pretty fluid market. I think there's been a lot of players leave Cuba. It's probably a little different than in the past. In the past, it was the big name guys that have been on the national team for a long time, coming out like 26, 27, 28 years old. There's Yulieski Gurriel right now that is out there. That's a free agent. But the Cuban players that are on the market right now are more guys that were kind of the next wave guys, the 16 to 20-year-old Cubans that would have been, kind of the next group of Cuban national team members. And there's some guys that have been out there in the media, but I think that you wait for those guys to be made eligible by Major League Baseball, and we've scouted pretty much a large number of those guys and be prepared if those guys come out to at least be in position to make a move if we want to.
Here's Solarte, homered his last time for the Padre run, and he fouls that out of play. Now, of that list we've just seen, is there a player you could point out that is closest to getting to the big leagues? I mean, they're all going to go, I assume all of those will go to one of the minor league clubs.
Yeah. No, I think for the most part, the guys we're talking about, are the guys that we signed, especially on July 2, it's 16-year-old players. So I think, even if everything goes, according to plan, and guys, they reach each stage of development at their, their earliest possible, age. For the most part, you're talking about them impacting our club at 19, 20 years old. So I think when we've looked at this, in terms of like trying to add talent to the system, it's a couple different layers. You have the draft, in which you're able to get guys. We were able to add college players in the draft, high school players in the draft that might start their development stage a little bit, at a little closer point to the big league level.
They'd be 2 or 3 years away.
Exactly, and then
There's Solarte drilling one past Teixeira, and on his run is Myers, but quick fielding in right field, and Myers will have to hold at third on a double by Solarte. So this 2-1 game, Solarte positioned himself and Myers to score and take the lead with 1 out.
So I think I think we obviously you try to pair that with some of the players from the international market that are probably a little bit further away. The right-hand pitcher that we agreed to last night from Taiwan, Wen-Hei Sung, he's a 19, 20-year-old college player in Taiwan. He's probably a little bit more advanced on the pitching side than some of the pitchers that we signed on July 2nd. He probably would fit more in with our A-ball pitchers, and but the players that we signed yesterday, they will not play this year in affiliated baseball. Their season starts next year. You start with your 17-year-old season, and those guys will get out in the system next year. So their introduction to baseball, they'll go down into our Dominican complex. they'll start basically almost in like a pre-instructional league program, almost a scout ball program, where they'll play 20+ games in 30 days with our instructors to start getting used to Padre baseball, what they're going to see, what they're going to teach, what they're going to see in our system, get used to the grind of playing every single day. And then really their first step in their careers are starting in September with Instructional League in Arizona with our best prospects. So.
Spanning the globe, A.J. Preller. Hey, tell us about this guy who throws both ways, ambidextrous, the kid from Siberia. He throws like 110. If there's a kid out there, you'll find him.
Yeah, if he's out there, Chris Kemp is probably on it. So, yeah.
Yeah, Siberia, Sam they call him. Yeah. Here's Dickerson, a chance to get the Padres with an out, a tie, and with a base hit the lead. Dickerson struck out his first time, and now getting a chance to show what he can do on a more regular basis after great numbers at El Paso, where he was hitting .382 with 10 homers and 51 runs batted in.
Yeah, I think with Dickerson, he's obviously went down and played tremendous at El Paso, and I think his experiences so far in the big leagues, it's always been kind of a spot start here and there, and haven't really been able to get him consistent at bats, which most guys when they break into the big leagues, that's kind of the way it goes. But I think I think he's obviously earned the opportunity to come back here, and still looking for the spot where he can ride him in the lineup every day and see what what he can accomplish at AAA if that translates here to the big leagues.
A good hitters count right here, 3-1.
Up the middle. Oh, a great play by the pitcher. Then back to second and a double play. Oh, my. A reaction stab by Green, and he turns it into a double play. Well, thank you, AJ, for spending some time with us. Can't wait. We'll see some of these kids maybe in spring training just to get a peek, huh?
For sure.
All right.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, AJ.
Happy 4th.
Thank you.
In Padres history, brought to you by Geico. 2013 All-Star Game, Citi Field, New York. Mariano Rivera, 8th inning, final All-Star appearance. As he trotted onto the field, players from both teams joined fans in giving Rivera a standing ovation as he stood alone on the field. Rivera retired all 3 batters he faced, and he was named the All-Star Game MVP. The first reliever selected to an All-Star team to ever receive the award. And the first pitcher since Pedro Martinez in 1999. So back at Petco Park, after 4 innings, the Yankees 2 runs on 5 hits. The Padres 1 run on 3 hits. And the first pitch to the leadoff man, Jacoby Ellsbury, is popped up, and Ramirez on the second base side squeezes the first out. Ellsbury had singled his first 2 times.
Hey, next half inning, we got the guy who changes the cat litter from Petco coming to join us. So
Sweeney?
stay tuned. Yeah.
That guy?
Yeah.
Hey, it's been fun, huh? Captain Jack.
Yeah, Captain Jack, Mr. October, and then A.J.
Preller, who possibly could hit cleanup in that lineup, huh?
Mark Sweeney.
We got him. He puts the pet in Petco. Gardner has walked and safe on a fielder's choice. 70 pitches now for Cashner. So the bottom line, fans, as we try to review the commentary from H.A. Preller and what has happened in the last basically just a month, the June baseball draft of the amateurs, high school and college here, and now the international signing, is that it's going to be 2 to 4 years before we actually, the best of the best, prove that they're the cream of the crop and they make it all the way to the big league. So it's not something that's going to happen this year or next year. And maybe late 2018 we might start see the fruit that will be born from all this activity.
Yeah, it's like when you plant your orange tree, right? You plant the seed, you got to water it, let it germinate. You're not going to wake up the next day and have freshly squeezed orange juice. Anita Bryant's not going to be there squeezing oranges and having, right?
No.
You got to wait. You got to nurture it. You got to fertilize it.
She a switch hitter,
and not every orange,
shortstop,
and not every orange that is on the branches is going to be right.
Exactly.
Some fall off early,
yeah.
But yet the more you have, the more you have to choose from, and you can always trade bits and pieces as well.
Line drive, Kemp there to make the catch. Gardner blisters a shot, but right to the Padre right fielder. Time now for our fans of the game, our San Diego fans of the game, and there they are enjoying a little respite from the rigors of military training.
Yeah, we salute them on their way to getting their globe and anchor, the recruits and the fans. Yeah, cleaning up after eating those cheese fries, you bet.
Here's Teixeira, struck out both times and takes strike one. So back to the Orange Grove. This summer they're blossoming, and will hopefully a lot of ripe, rich fruit will be the product. Swing and a miss, strike two.
Hey, Andrew's looking good. Well, off-speed pitcher, slider at 86. Good location, good bite to it.
Swing and a miss. Teixeira for the third time strikes out. 6 punch outs for Cashner. Halfway mark in this one, 4.5 in the books, and it's the Yankees 2, the Padres 1. The 2-1 lead on the solo home run by Didi Gregorius. He scored both runs for the Yankees. And our rooftop shot brought to you by Pinnacle on the Park. Another big crowd, the Yankee series. drawing 83,000 plus in the first 2 games, so we'll be well over 120,000 for the weekend.
There's a buzz in the air, huh, Professor?
Yeah, both games, 2 one-run games. Yankees rallying with 4 in the 9th on Friday night, but the Padres prevailing 7-6, and then the dramatic walk-off home run by Melvin Upton last night for the 2-1 win. As Mark Sweeney joins us. Boy, that seat didn't get cold today.
No. We just set the record, guys. Obviously. Set the record for how many people can come in the booth in a 9-inning game.
Well, we had part of the Naked Gun cast right here. Reggie Jackson and Dick Enberg. Now all we need is Dr. Joyce Brothers, Jim Palmer, Dick Vitale, Kurt Gowdy.
Tim McCarver.
That's a good call. That's a good call.
That was a fun day. Derek Norris. 1-2 the count. Norris, Schimpf, and Ramirez against the right-hander Chad Green, who's allowed only 3 hits, 2 of them by Solarte, a home run and a double for Jan Hirvas.
Something I wanted to ask you, Dick, is how'd you act as a announcer?
Well,
isn't that hard to do?
Well,
what do you have to do?
No, it's more they had this. I can't recall what. We all auditioned for the one scene. Was it where the outfielder ran into the wall and lost his, or was it when the Tiger?
Yeah, the Tiger knocked him over.
They needed one person to show incredible awe, and so I gave him. Yeah.
You were great at that.
I was up for an Oscar for that.
Yeah. How could you not?
And strike 3 to Norris. 6 punch-outs for young Chad Green. Well, we're approaching at the end of this game, the 81st game of the season, the halfway mark, and Mark Sweeney is going into his crystal ball. It's hard to look in there, and here's what he finds.
How riveting. And you see Chris Bryant, the former USD Torero. I think that's the thing that surprised me. The 23 home runs lead baseball. Also last year had 99 RBIs, 61 already in a half season.
So the crystal ball says it'll be Bryant to win the National League MVP?
I actually think it's going to be.
Nolan Arenado isn't going to win?
Nolan Arenado's a good option. I think the Cubs are a flavor of baseball right now. And Manny Machado coming back and really putting Baltimore's offense, as we saw, come into Petco Park.
It really goes to show you guys how guys like Machado and Chris Bryant, they were put on this earth to be ball players. Because, they're going to be perennial all-stars. They're going to be players that are going to put up consistent numbers like that each and every year. Yeah, we don't see guys like that too often.
It's those poster childs of Major League Baseball, and obviously they're looking for somebody to step up and be that face of baseball. It's going to be collectively, I think, when it comes down to it, because Derek Jeter is gone. Obviously, the Yankees are in town. I think baseball needs a guy that they can look to follow suit when it comes to Derek Jeter.
Swing and a miss by Schimpf, and Green continues to mow down the Padres. That's 7 strikeouts. Brings up Alexei Ramirez.
Well, I mentioned before the game when Green took the hill, he's got the fastball mid-90s, he's got the slider that's hard as well. He has tossed up a couple of changeups, but he gets Schimpf with the heater up and away.
Only hits, as we mentioned, the home run and double by Solarte, and the line single from Will Myers. Ramirez grounded to second, a little slow roller that just skipped by the mound and fielded by Castro with a flip to the pitcher covering. Some of the fans weren't with us for Padres Live, the pregame show where each of us picked our surprise Padre of the season. You go back to spring training and you see all the names and where are the surprises. And Mud drew, no pun intended, Pomerantz, and how did he argue with that? We didn't even know if he could be in the bullpen or a starter, and he could well be a 10-11 game winner this year.
Well, I agreed. Well, exactly what you said, too. You could see 10, 12 wins easily with some run support, but what a great story Drew Pomerantz has been for the starting rotation.
Another terrific outing last night as he shackled the Yankees. 7 innings, only 1 run and 5 hits, 7 strikeouts, and I picked perhaps the obvious, except that in spring training we didn't know how Will Myers' wrist would hold up. We didn't know how well he would play first base, and he's been an all-star.
Dick, so I loved your point too. It's playing both sides of the baseball, and for not having an error at first base really comes into play, because Will Myers has looked comfortable over there. There have been situations that he's going to have to modify with experience, and no one can replace experience when you talk about having a new position But Will Myers has been excellent. Obviously, the month of June shows, but he has fun with the game, and it's really it's nice to see. It's
and
refreshing.
Only 25, folks. You know, only 25. A swing and a foul tip.
You know, I love comparing the first basemen, and everyone always talks about Paul Goldschmidt because I think he is a standard now. Anthony Rizzo gets that because it's Chicago Cubs, and it's exciting. Brandon Belt stepped up, but Will Myers' numbers and production, driving runs in, is very favorable over the other first basemen in this league.
Don't forget the stolen bases, too, with 13 of those. And, of course, it's interesting, Anthony Rizzo on there, and the man on the mound for the Padres today, Andrew Cashner. That was the 1-for-1 trade. Yeah, what goes around comes around in this game.
Yep. But the point that you made, Dick, too, is seeing Will Myers healthy and putting up the numbers that I think a lot of scouts say he's the total package when it comes to athletic and the body type and what he can do to produce runs. He's showing it with that health.
1-2 to Ramirez, and he pops that one. Might be a play. No, that's going to sail into the crowd beyond the dugout. But if you double up, here we're at the midpoint, and this is risky business, of course, but fans love to talk about this. If you double his numbers, since this is the halfway mark, Myers would finish the year with 38 homers and 114 runs batted in, and you throw in 26 steals.
And you know what else is ironic? On everybody's wish list, 600 at-bats, right?
Yeah.
305 at-bats going into this game today.
There's a soft line drive that Gregorius can go up and get. Wasn't hit hard. You heard the bat break. And the shortstop able to go back and make a nice play. Well timed, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. Game summary. Yankees scored first. Gregorius safe on the air by Ramirez. He'd moved to third on Hicks' single, and he scored on this double play. 4-3, 1-0 Yankees. Jan Solarte led off the second, goes the other way. A line drive into the first row of the left field seats, and that tied it up at 1. Solarte's 5th of the year. But Didi Gregorius, he goes down the other line, just inside the foul pole. A Petco Parks home run, his 9th of the year, and that's the score. Yankees 2, Padres 1 as we move to the 6th inning. Andrew Cashner has been solid coming off his one rehab assignment in Lake Elsinore, recovering from that neck injury. And he faces McCann, Castro, and then Gregorius here in the Yankee 6th inning. Shift on. Go back to the surprises of the season. I didn't hear your pick on the pregame show.
Well, I wanted Ryan Buchter, and you think about it, obviously it's land of opportunity when it comes down to Ryan Buchter and what he showed in spring training. You saw the arm, you saw the fastball velocity, but I think he has been special out of the bullpen. A left-hander that is proud of his fastball, can pitch with it, and it has to go back to the scouting department of the San Diego Padres and what they did to give him that opportunity to come in here and have that many appearances.
Had pitched in only one major league game. It's hard to believe with Atlanta. And that was 2 years ago. And here he is languishing in the minor leagues all this time. And at age 29, getting his full year chance with the Padres and delivering.
That's a good call, Mark. I like that.
And you know what? He said something interesting to Mike Pomeranz on his show SD Live, which I thought was really important. And you think about it from that perspective. You know this, Mark. He said, you know what I like to do is I like to read hitters. I like to see if they are not on my fastball, why throw anything else? And it's that mentality, I think, Mark, you know, as a reliever and a late inning reliever, be proud of your fastball and locate that.
Popped up but out of play. Booker pitched last night, an inning, set up the win.
And this is what I'm talking about. He hides the ball very well. He has deception in his delivery, but it's that velocity and location. He comes into right-handers, not afraid to pitch in. Just the mentality of jumping on an opportunity and making the most of it. And that's the reason why Ryan Buchter's my choice.
That's the one thing I liked about him as well, Mark, is not afraid to bury the fastball into the righties.
Only the second walk by Cashner, but it's the leadoff man that gets the free ticket, Brian McCann, here in the sixth. And with 84 pitches, alert to the bullpen. Brings up Starlin Castro, struck out, grounded to third, deep to third. That was the play. Solarte's throw high to Myers, and Myers did an incredible stretch to be able to make the catch and get his foot back on the bag. High fly ball center field, Upton giving ground. And one away. Well, it's time now to check the Cholula flamethrower.
Andrew Cashner on the hill, Mark Sweeney. And what is it going up? Oh,
wow. That is hot sauce.
I love it when you get excited.
Listen,
that
you
turns me on.
know, I get excited, and I think about a grilled fish taco.
Right.
And when you're talking about velocity on the home side, I want a grilled fish taco, maybe a little bit of cheese on there, maybe some peppers,
right. And Cholula too,
and some hot sauce. 97.
Line drive, caught by Sim, up the ladder and taking a hit away from Gregorius. 5 feet 8 inches, he just jumped 12 feet.
Oh, timed perfectly.
Got both feet off the ground and everything.
Did it get caught in the webbing?
Yeah, get Spencer Dowell in that clubhouse. Get him on those strings.
Come on, Spencer. Tighten him up a little bit.
He said, I want to throw to first for the double play, but the ball won't let me. Look at that.
That's some ice cream right there.
Oh, my. So 2 away to Aaron Hicks, who is 2 for 2, a single and a double. Both well hit line drives.
And don't think Spencer won't get on that immediately. That group down there, that's some kind of special.
Oh, busting their tails down there.
Oh, Spencer Dowell. I mean, somebody has to do all the work, make those uniforms look great, get the numbers on. New player comes up, get his name on the back. Ground ball sharply. Schimpf can't get that one. It's into right field, and Aaron Hicks having himself quite a day. 2 singles and a double for a 194 hitter. So first and second with 2 outs, and Ronald Torres comes up.
Well, as a pitcher, you want to work down, right? Well, this one is up in the zone, but Hicks gets on top. You can see that barrel roll it over. And after the great play by Schimpf, hey, going to his left there. Tough play, but given a great effort. And any pitcher, any teammate would appreciate just that.
Norris out to chat with Cashner to remind him that the pitcher follows Torres, maybe giving the bullpen a little more time to get ready.
Well, it would be great for Andrew to get a quick out right here, put up a solid 6 innings of work, and leave the Yankees at 2 runs.
Well, also, guys, with a young pitcher pitching for the Yankees, and obviously he is performing well today, you wonder if they're going to make that move if it gets to the pitcher spot. With a young pitcher, with that successful bench and what they have, that firepower on the Yankee bench.
Ground ball, broken bat. Ramirez goes the long way, and the inning comes to an end. The Yankees leave 2, middle of the 6th. New York 2, San Diego 1.
Doesn't love a walk-off. Melvin Upton Jr. against Ruby De La Rosa, 93 miles an hour, going the opposite way, 92 on his next one, and last night, 93 miles an hour, down and in, and changing direction of a fastball, and also dispersing those, going the opposite way on the first 2, and then the pull power. Melvin Upton Jr., both sides of the ball, both defensively and the walk-off home runs, made his year very special.
And a total of 13 homers on the year and 39 runs batted in. He'll hit second here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Travis Jankowski to bat for Andrew Cashner. And takes ball 1. Cashner then goes 6 innings, allows 2 runs, 1 earned run, 6 hits, walked 2 and struck out 6. Good to have him back and a solid outing. Quality outing. A strike. Low and inside, 1-1.
Yeah, that's a good day in the big leagues. Good workout right there for Andrew Cashner. 90 tosses, 69% strikes.
With this speed, Padres hoping Jankowski can get on. 1-2 now the count.
Yeah, get a couple runs here and have Andrew Cashner get that win.
Well, a bit unlucky were the Padres back in the 4th inning. They had runners at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out, and Dickerson blistered one back to the mound, and Green a self-defense stab of it and turned it into a double play.
Oh, guys, we talked on our pregame show about Andrew Cashner and the splits, both right-handed and left-hander. And the right-handers have given problems today. And you look at what Andrew Cashner did today, and your point, Mark, earlier in the game, Starlin Castro had an uncomfortable fastball in.
Yeah.
Went to the slider and spiked the slider to the next pitch, but got him with a fastball looking. I think some of those adjustments that Andrew's making, and sometimes making the hitters uncomfortable, is going to be very important for Andrew Cashner.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, and another punch out for Chad Green. He has 8 strikeouts today. Time now for the top tier player profile, brought to you by Arco. Melvin Upton steps up. Last 20 games hitting at a .338 pace with 7 home runs. Well, even Chad Green, who's making only his 2nd start of the season in the 1st in 6 weeks, very impressive. Center field hit pretty well. Back goes Ellsbury and makes the catch. 393 foot out off the bat of Melvin Upton.
Nice easy swing, huh, Mark Sweeney?
Yeah.
He got to it, just maybe under it a little bit, maybe out in front a little bit. You saw that bat wiggle just a little bit on that slider.
Well, and that's what that will be. That cutter slider action will get off the barrel of the bat. Didn't really have that sound. You see Ellsbury cruising to that warning track and make an easy catch.
So 2 outs here in the 6th. Will Myers, an RBI or a line single and a ground out. Padres in the last 12 games, a solid 8-4 record, trying to log their first 3-game sweep of the season. They trail 2-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Bases empty with 2 gone. Slow roller to short. Tough play. Well done by Gregorius. Bare hand pick up and throw, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Chad Green.
It was going to be in New York. A lot of people would see and know who this, young Winfield from the Padres was.
Hey, you're in. And I was out the gate and running toward the mound.
That was a sneak preview of Spotlight, Padres All-Star Memories, debuting Wednesday after Padres Live, right here on Fox Sports San Diego.
Big Dave Winfield, 19th all-time in total hits, 3,110. Alex Rodriguez down in the Yankee dugout, currently tied with Winfield. Not in the lineup today, but certainly available as a pinch hitter. And here's Carlos Beltran to lead off the top of the 7th inning. Chad Green giving Joe Girardi 6 solid innings, allowing only 1 run. Beltran. And he shoots one on 1 hop to Solarte, moving from third over to the right side of the infield. 1 pitch, 1 out for Carlos Villanueva, and he's in there courtesy of El Cajon Ford.
And this is high leverage time. Hey, the Padres not doing well on Sundays this year. Looking to go sweep the Yankees here. They trail by 1, so this is a big outing for Carlos Villanueva, and just got a big out. Getting Carlos Beltran.
Top of the order, Jacoby Ellsbury, 2 singles and a pop-up. Yankees have out-hit the Padres 6-3. Solo home runs in the game. Gregorius, number 9 for the Yankees. Solarte with his 5th for the Padres. Just a little inside. 2-0.
One of the things, Dick, for a guy like Carlos Villanueva, as we take a look at Jacoby Ellsbury this afternoon in the series, he's got the perfect mentality for his role. Hey, the other day he went out, it was not a good outing. He'd be the first to say that.
Center field, Upton a long run, but he's got the speed to get there for the second out. Well, looking ahead, our greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. And from very pleasant San Diego, we go to red hot Arizona, 110 degrees plus, and we'll see Paul Goldschmidt having another solid season. Zach Greinke is on the 15-day DL. That's a break for the Padres. And Jake Lamb, a breakout year, 18 homers for the third baseman. 2 out. Brett Gardner walked, safe on a fielder's choice, and lined out to right as last time. Well, the first 2 games of the series decided by 1 run, 7-6 and 2-1 Padres. Here we are in another 2-1 on the Yankee side. Ooh. Seattle trying to sweep Baltimore, a 4-game series. How about that? Baltimore comes in here and with all that home run power takes the Padres apart for a couple of games. They go up to Seattle and the Mariners about to plant 4 straight losses on them.
You know, Carlos Villanueva, the perfect guy to have in the pitching staff, because last time out, 2/3 of an inning, 6 hits, 7 runs. But he just eliminates that from the hard drive, and then he knows he's got an inning to throw here to keep the Yankees put up a 0. Keep it at 2-1.
You know, baseball pitchers, especially relief pitchers, have to be like cornerbacks in football. Yep. Short memory. Yep. Yeah, you get beat, and that didn't happen. Here comes the next play. Here comes the next pitch.
You bet.
The inside, 2-2. But for us normal human beings, you make a mistake and it bothers you, it wears on you, and it may impact your next movement. You know, relief pitcher, you can't do that. You know, it's a new day, it's almost like every pitch is a new season. Ground ball, Myers. Races to the bag in time to beat Gardner for the out. Villanueva, 1-2-3-7. Stretch half of the 7th on Military Sunday.
Military Sunday. Please stand and welcome back Second Lieutenant Jeffrey Collins. Please sing along as Lieutenant Collins presents God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Fox Sports San Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by USAA, official military appreciation partner of the San Diego Padres. By Petco, your complete pet store. And by your San Diego County Lexus dealers. Bottom of the 7th, breaking ball to Kemp for strike 1 from Dylan Betances. And this is his 40th appearance. He leads all major league relievers with 72 strikeouts. He strikes out just about every other man. And he did come into the game last night and gave up a couple of hits and eventually the tying run. Padres scored back in the 6th inning. And he can get it up there in a hurry. 98 on that fastball. He can hit 100, as can Geraldo Chapman. He did not come in last night, the left-hander, former Cincinnati Red. Miller stayed after a 7th or 8th inning, and then Upton took him deep for the winning home run in the 9th. Through the open right side, Kemp beats the shift. Kemp had a double and an RBI off Betances last night. Time for In the Driver's Seat, brought to you by Kia. And Jan Solarte at the wheel today with a solo home run and a double. Last 12 games hitting at a .395 clip.
Yeah, keep that going in today's game. Hopefully make a big impact to break that Yankee lead of 2-1. And then over in the desert where the ball has a tendency to fly, but opposite field home run today for Jan. Very nice.
Right side open with Teixeira anchored at the bag with a runner on, and the second baseman Castro shaded in double play position. There's the hole, the 3.5 hole.
Betances pretty much just a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball, slider. But as Dick mentioned, he can get up there 100, 101. He's been clocked.
Runner goes and fouled out a play. Oh, that was a base stolen by Kemp. He had a tremendous jump. And they were running on Betances last night as well. He has a big leg kick.
And that's a huge leg kick, enabling Kemp to maybe get a stride or two. He wants to stay, wants to go, stay, go, touch. Foul ball, got to go back. 6'8", 265 for Betances.
That's a lot of man.
Wow. That is a big dude right there. And he wears his height on his jersey.
There you go.
6'8".
Who knew?
That'd be cool if he wore 265, wouldn't it?
We're getting there.
Wear your weight, especially with the Yankees, right? All those retired numbers, Dick.
They're running out. Doesn't have much of a move, and that has been apparent the way the Padres have taken liberties trying to run on this big guy. 2-1 to Solarte, and that's the score on the Yankee side. 2-1. 3-1. 97 miss. Alex Dickerson will be next. Solarte, his first time up against the starter Chad Green, goes right with it, and just enough to clear the wall in left field. Manager Gilardi thought that perhaps the ball had been touched by a fan illegally in play, but after a review, it was ruled a home run. Now 3 balls and a strike. That one lined to left field for a base hit. Kemp will stop at second. Solarte 3 for 3 this afternoon.
Good pick, Professor. I'm rooting for you. Chalk up another point for Mr. Edberg as he fights off, gets on top of this one and singles to left. A good day at the plate for Yangervis Solarte against his former club.
Now to try to get these 2 runners around and get the lead. He wears his emotion. That's great. Now the meeting in the middle of the diamond by the Yankees to go over what they're going to do here in this situation with Dickerson, not necessarily a man that you expect to sacrifice, but they have to align that way with the third baseman Torreyes at the edge of the grass at third. But he does square, and not a very good looking bunt there. Jab, foul.
First pitch breaking ball by Betances, his slider. And his numbers are really mind-boggling. Before this game, 40 innings pitched, only 29 hits. He struck out 72, and he only walked 9. He's around the plate. Power pitcher who's around the plate.
Squared again, and that is a good bunt. Throw to second. Out. For Solarte there at first base, not the greatest speed. They do get the runner, the middle runner, but the Padres have first and third with one out. And the tying run 90 feet away, Matt Kemp.
Yeah, that's such a heads-up play by the Yankees because the speed of Solarte, it's close. Don't get me wrong, it's close, but that's the go-ahead run. Tying run at third base. Now the go-ahead run is at first. And they keep that double play in order.
So it's up to Derek Norris, who has been up twice, struck out both occasions. Chance to make amends right here. 5-6 on the play at second base.
You know, Dick, I just noticed, you mentioned it earlier, Betances really doesn't have a good pickoff move. That's the second time he stepped back off the rubber and then spun towards first base. You can do that because he stepped back off the rubber. If you do the spin move in front of the rubber, you have to throw to first base. But you're right, he hasn't thrown over there.
Dickerson not a serious threat to go. Well, that's in the back of his head here.
Yeah.
As the Padres were running last night. Jankowski, Myers, and Norris all with stolen bases last night. Breaking ball outside. Pretty good pitch. First and third, one out here in the home half of the seventh. The Padres trying to rally from a 2-1 deficit. That one does hit the outside corner. A couple of breaking balls to Norris to open this sequence. Infield back up the middle looking for two. Third baseman Torreyes a couple of steps behind the bag at third. Ball hit hard. He'd have a play at the plate. And anything up the middle, or certainly that big hole on the right side, inviting for Derek Norris.
I noticed about Betances, when he's in the set position getting the sign, he's holding that baseball in his hand, his throwing hand, and he's kind of moving it around a little bit. I mean, in contact with the rubber, if he drops that ball, that's a balk. See how he's moving his hand around a little bit, then he comes set.
Runner goes, and it's fouled away. Dickerson had a huge break. He didn't know that the ball was fouled back. Well, I guess not. So it is a steal for Dickerson. Second and third with one out. And the count stays at 1-2.
Well, you can see Betances trying to work the corners on our Fox tracks brought to you by Nissan. In and out, in and out.
Wait a minute. That's not what that flag is for.
Good call, Professor.
1 out. 2 men in scoring position. And the breaking ball away.
Good layoff by Derek Norris.
Boy, that's a lot of movement on that slider.
That's a good slider. Now here's a guy who throws about 100, right? And then the breaking ball, he flips up there, and he does a nice job of holding off.
Ryan Schimpf on deck. Three and two. A man who throws 97, 98, 99 throws a lot of breaking pitches. He did last night as well.
Well, you know what? He might throw him another breaking ball here. First base is open, then a force at any base for the Yankees. He's thrown 2 breaking balls in a way to go 3 and 2. Why not throw him another one here?
That might lead Norris to just punch it through the right side. No, another breaking ball, and he went after it. That would have been ball 4. 3 consecutive strikeouts for Norris. 2 away.
Well, third time's a charm for Dellin Betances. You know, 2 good layoffs from Derek Norris, but 3 and 2, got to protect there. And as you look at this pitch come in, yeah, it's up a little bit. Very inviting for a hitter. That's a tough pitch to lay off. Especially like you said, Dick, when you've got a guy who throws as hard as he does.
So it's up to the rookie Schimpf. A ground out and a strikeout today. Kemp still at third. Dickerson at second. Ball 1. Oh, a steady diet of sliders. Interesting. There's the fastball. A little bit of the paint, a little bit of the black, and it's 1 and 2.
Well, I'm sure Ryan Schimpf is saying, boy, I never saw a fastball or a slider like that down in El Paso. He's got to get that front foot down, the hands back, and react right here now with 2 strikes.
McCann able to move the ball from the pocket to the webbing, and that's the difference between ball and strike. 1 and 2. Strike 3 call. Another breaking ball. So the Padres get runners to second and third, but can't get that tying run home. And after 7, it's the Yankees 2-1.
Game right now. The Yankees leading the Padres here in the top of the 8th inning. Mark and I are working on Padres Live, the post-game show brought to you by Cox Communication. Hopefully a little late inning magic like last night.
Well, we saw it last night. Melvin Upton Jr. against Andrew Miller, the three-headed monster for the New York Yankees. And for the Padres, their perspective is try to keep Chapman out of this game, which is very important. Last night they did it against Miller. They have to try to do it again tonight.
All right, Aroldis Chapman has not seen any action in this series, so hopefully when we see it in the post-game show, it'll remain that way, and the Padres will have a nice commanding lead. Also, when we see after the final out, guys, we're going to hear from A.J. Preller, his thoughts on the international signings, and you'll hear from Andy Green, plus we get you ready for the Diamondbacks. See you in a moment.
All right, gentlemen, here's Mark Teixeira to start the 8th inning for the Yankees. He struck out all 3 at-bats today against Carlos Villanueva. Teixeira, McCann, and Castro for the Yanks. Way out in right field is Schimpf. He's really roving today. High fly ball into right field. Kemp is drifting back, running out of room, and that ball is gone. Teixeira rounds the bases, his 400th career home run. A milestone drive for Mark Teixeira. Hits home plate with number 400, and it's 3-1 Yankees.
Breaking ball down and in. And with only 3:22 down the right field line into the porch.
And both Yankee home runs today into the Petco porch. And Teixeira knows that's number 400. Applauding as he went around the bases. Here's Brian McCann. Squaring as if he wanted to bunt his way through the shift. Here he is rounding the bases. Yeah, that is a big home run. Boy, that separates you from the pack. Now into the elite at that 400 level. Quite a career. Here comes Joe Girardi out of the dugout. Quick conversation. Calling in the first base umpire, the crew chief, Mark Carlson.
See, this is where they need to be mic'd.
Yes.
And they needed to address the crowd and say, hey, Joe Girardi, the manager of the New York Yankees, has requested a challenge on blank.
Exactly right. That's what the National Football League does, and they also have a red flag to commit yourself early on. Baseball, why can't they adopt those rules?
Is this a hit batsman challenge?
I guess that is what it is. Did it just brush the bottom of his shoe? Tough to tell. Does it change directions?
Yeah.
Not much.
I think it's the heel. I think it's the back heel because that ball looks like it changes direction a little bit.
It's interesting that McCann showed no indication that he wanted to go to first base.
Right.
So he either didn't think he was hit or he doesn't want to give up the at-bat. He wants to swing. Or it may be that we got to get the average number of challenges in before the game's over. Yep, it hit him according to New York. So McCann accorded a first base hit by a pitch. Interesting that he didn't go there initially. Well, that's a borderline hit by pitch if you ever saw one.
Yeah.
Joe Girardi, eye of an eagle. Castro that comes up, struck out on a good play made by third baseman Solarte and first baseman Myers, and he flied to center. Strike one. 3-1 Yankees on a couple of Petco porch home runs from Didi Gregorius and Mark Teixeira. By the mound, and now a tough play. Schimpf able to get it over to first in time. 1-4-3 on the putout. Might have been a double play ball, but instinctively Villanueva went up to try to field it. It was headed toward second baseman Schimpf. He was able to change his direction and complete the 1-4-3 putout. So all-time career home runs by switch hitters. Teixeira joins the list of only 5 to hit 400 or more, with a great Yankee Mantle, Murray, Jones, and Beltran on that list. How about that? 2 men in the dugout, 2 switch hitters for the Yankees, 2 men that have hit 400 career home runs. Gregorius, a home run, safe on an error, an unearned run back in the second, rolls this one to Schimpf, and 2 away. Over to third, McCann. And with 2 outs, Aaron Hicks with a big 3-for-3 afternoon going for the young Long Beach lad. It's just hard to appreciate, put in perspective, what you have to do in Major League Baseball to hit 400 home runs.
Oh, I know. And, you know, the switch hitting thing really puts into perspective, too, to be that good. You know, majority of the home runs probably coming from the left side, but still.
So can they get Hicks out? They've got an insurance run. It's 3-1. And a man at third. And Hicks a 3-for-3 game. 2 singles and a double.
It's a good pitch.
Hitting .219 from the left side, only .208 from the right side, and .194 overall. He was a first-round pick of the Twins 8 years ago. Now 26. Up and away, 3-0.
Well, that ball almost got away from Derek Norris. Had some funky action to it.
The third baseman Torreyes, hitting 8th, is on deck. This might be a pitch round. In fact, they'll complete the intentional pass. They want to take a chance with a hot hitting Hicks, and Torreyes comes up.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres. And I butchered that one.
Just that re part that throws you.
Yeah.
We got it.
I was thrown by the intentional pass.
So Torreyes has hit the ball on the ground all 3 times. Double play 4-3. Back to the mound and to the shortstop the last time. Alex Rodriguez loosening up in the dugout. If Torreyes keeps it going, it's the pitcher's spot next. Broken bat ground ball to Ramirez to second for the force. Inning comes to an end. But somewhat of a historical swing in this game, created by Mark Teixeira into the Petco porch, the 55th man in Major League history to hit 400 home runs.
here's an 8-time NL batting title holder, a 17-time All-Star that wasn't sure if he had enough, 3,000 hit guy, Gold Gloves, wasn't sure if he would get that phone call. And I get it. You don't ever anticipate or put yourself in a position where you think it's going to happen.
Trevor Hoffman with his salute to number 19. The memories of Tony Gwynn. Don't forget to tune in Tuesday. That's coming up the day after the 4th, obviously. After Padres Live from Arizona. Second game of that series for a wonderful 1-hour tribute. All those gentlemen reminiscing and praising the man and the player, Tony Gwynn. It's great television fans. If you're a Padres fan, baseball fan, or just one of the many thousands who have a Tony Gwynn autograph, you'll want to watch that. Andrew Miller, who gave up the winning home run last night, Melvin Upton, and he's going to face Upton again here in the 8th inning. Ramirez then a pinch hitter, and Upton would hit third here in the 8th inning for the Padres. First loss for Miller last night.
That was the 5th home run that he had surrendered this year, but overall great numbers, and that was the man who hit it for the walk-off win for San Diego, Melvin Upton Jr. 65 strikeouts, only 4 walks for Andrew Miller in 35 2/3 innings pitched.
3-0. The Padres haven't received a walk all day. Chad Green, the starter, went 6 innings, a run, 3 hits, no walks, 8 strikeouts. Betances gave up a couple of hits, had men in scoring position, second and third, struck out 2, no walks. Here's a chance, 3-0. Boy, a walk is as good as a hit here to lead off an inning late. That's an automatic strike down the middle. Christian Bethancourt apparently will hit in the pitcher spot. Center field, routine. Ellsbury went away. A look at the keys to the game brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Well, the first one was trying to do a double whammy. One was cash in on Green. So cash in, meaning he's back. Hopefully he has a good one. Then cash in on Green, Chad Green, putting it to the Yankee starter. Well, Andrew Cashner, 6 innings, 6 hits. A couple of runs. He pitched very well for his first time back, punching out 6.
1 earned run.
Yep, and then hit a homer. Padres 1 home run. Solarte solo shot.
They've got another 5 outs to hit another as Bethancourt backs off from a fastball inside.
And the Padres with 30 and 16 when they hit a home run, their record.
You just saw the man who has 3 of the 5 hits today for the Padres, Jan Solarte. 1-1. This Quinn Walcott's had a good day behind the plate, don't you think? He's been solid. Calling the balls and strikes.
Pretty consistent.
Ripped and foul. Wow, he got on that one and just hooked it foul. Immensely strong, this man.
Yes, he is. Got out too much out in front of that slider from Andrew Miller.
That ball drilled to left field for a base hit. Oh, he had a practice swing and hit a rope and then follows it with a solid single to left field. Well, the Padres have the tying run on here in the 8th, and here's the top of the order, Melvin Upton.
Well, after the foul ball, Andrew Miller comes back with another slider, and this one for a strike. Rematch as Bethancourt stands on first base. In fact, all rise. Bethancourt is now in session.
Upton has flied out twice and struck out today. And here's the evidence last night. First pitch, 9th inning, and Upton sails it into the Western Metal Supply Company second deck, a 440-footer to win it 2-1.
See if Andrew Miller tries to keep the ball away.
Breaking ball in for a strike, 1-1. Well, it's not the first time that Upton has figured out the left-hander. 5 hits and 11 at-bats, and 3 of them home runs. On the outside corner.
That's paint. Good pitch. Well, you got Betances up around 100, 98 from the right side. You've got Andrew Miller, 95 to 97 from the left side. And then you've got Chapman from the left side up around 100.
Up as high as 105, Chapman. We saw that here. But you know, those fastballs, when they make sweet contact, go a long way.
Yes, they do.
As Brandon Maurer, celebrating his 26th birthday today, warms up along with Kevin Quackenbush. Ooh, weak swing there, and he gets a bit of revenge. Upton goes down, 2 away.
Slider out of the zone towards the back foot. And with 2 strikes, you have to protect. Very tough pitch to hit for any hitter. Even touching foul off. Very tough.
That brings up the All-Star ambassador, National League Player of the Month of June, Will Myers. A single and 3 at-bats today, a couple of ground outs. 20 home runs, has a beautiful ring.
Doesn't it though?
Yeah, he's sitting on 19.
Yeah.
Something about 20. Inside, ball 1. Betances is 6'8". You mentioned that, his number on his back. Andrew Miller is 6'7". A long drink of water. I love that expression.
Oh, yeah.
Long drink of water. Takes a long way to get down. And low and inside again, 2-0. Couple of breaking balls at the ankles of Myers. Does he want to throw him a fastball? Two outs, tying run. Bethancourt at first base.
Here comes a fastball.
Inside, 3-0. Matt Kemp to follow. I would think Myers has the green light if he likes it. And he's going to get something off. No, he's going to get a fastball. And a strike, but a tough strike. And another strike from the former Tar Heel at the University of North Carolina.
You know what he's trying to do? Prevent Will Myers from getting those hands extended. Every single pitch this at bat, inside part of the plate. Tell by our Fox tracks. He's going to try to finish him off here with a fastball. He shook off the slider.
Bethancourt off with the pitch. Ball 4. That pushes the tying run into scoring position. First walk of the day from Yankee pitching. He pitched very carefully to Myers. And it's up to Kemp. Single through the right side the last time after striking out the first 2 at-bats facing Chad Green. Kemp's last home run June 23rd, so it's been a while since number 16. Boy, good success against Miller. 5 for 6. Ball 1.
And believe me, pitchers know those numbers. Hitters know those numbers.
Yeah, horses for courses. Yeah. Bethancourt from second. The tying run. Myers off first. Low, 2-0. There he is, the fireballing Aroldis Chapman. Solarte on deck. Went to the breaking ball, fouled away, 1-2. Padres are 0 for 4. Runners in scoring position this afternoon. The Yankees are 0 for 11. But the Yankees lead 3-1. But the tying run at first base, not at second base. Way outside on a breaking ball. 3-1. Miller struggling with his control. That's the man the Padres want to get around. Myers from first. He carries the tying run. See how patient Kemp will be on this 3-1 pitch. Get something he likes. Breaking ball on the outside corner. Not a bad take. That's a tough pitch. Well, 3-2, and the advantage of 3-2 gets those runners going early.
Well, McCann was set up inside, yet the pitch is on the outside corner. Good call, according to Fox Tracks, on the outside corner.
Well, Bethancourt from second and Myers from first off with a pitch. Double could score 2. Ground ball, foul. It's a long inning for Miller, 25 pitches. Solarte with half of the Padre total of 6. Home run and a couple of singles. He's on deck. Runners go. Broken bat roller to the right side. Kemp's got to hurry. Might beat the pitcher. No, he doesn't. 3-1 on the putout, and the Padres leave 2 more. We're on to the 9th inning, and the Yankees lead by 2. And welcome back to Petco Park on this Military Sunday. And a happy holiday weekend to you all from the San Diego Padres, who trailed the Yankees 3-1 going to the top of the 9th inning. And Alex Rodriguez will be the first man that Kevin Quackenbush faces. Reaction of the crowd here, 42,000 plus. to the announcement of A-Rod. Singled as a pinch hitter on Friday night. An important single that tied Dave Winfield for number 19 all time, 3,110th hit. And the first pitch strike, breaking ball off speed.
Well, Kevin is well rested. Last time out was against the Orioles on the 29th of June. Only 2/3 of an inning, gave up a hit.
1-1.
Kevin holding opponents this year to a 200 batting average. Big inning right here.
A ball and a strike to A-Rod. And a foul back. First came up with the Seattle Mariners in 1994. And he hasn't played much in the field, primarily a DH and a pinch hitter this year as his role reduced with age. He's going to be 41 later this month. Lines that foul. Three-time MVP in the American League. 14-time All-Star. 10-time Silver Slugger. 2-time Gold Glove. A distinguished but controversial career. Activities, the PED activities, is going to hamper his chances of getting to Cooperstown. We will see. 2-2. High pop-up that'll sail into the first base crowd. You gotta wait for the bounce on those high ones. Don't go for it yourself.
Absolutely.
42,131. So the three-game series this weekend attracts more than 125,000 fans. Hicks down there in the number 7 spot in the order, 3 for 3 and a walk. And the count full on Rodriguez.
Well, even early in his career, Alex was big time going the opposite way. That was one of the strengths, of course, defensively, and as you mentioned, as he's gotten older, very few innings since 2013. So he'll drive the ball the opposite way. Outfield is playing him to go that way as well.
And that's out of play. 695 home runs for Rodriguez. First one came in Seattle in 1995. They brought him up at midseason. Ninth pitch. And a ground ball sharply to Myers. Another good play made on a hot shot to first. Will Myers, one away.
Yeah, I like how he fielded that one. Down on the knee, getting down there, keeping the ball in front of him. Sharply, you got to realize that Alex likes to go that way, and down on one knee, keeping it in front of him. He'll take it himself, makes it look easy.
Little toss of the onion there. And one out to the top of the order, Jacoby Ellsbury, 2 for 4. Lined out to center the last time. Well, not only the birthday celebrated out in the Padre pen, Brandon Maurer, now 26, but the general manager of the Yankees, Brian Cashman, celebrates number 49 today. Check swing. And that's a strike. I guess we're going to see Chapman, the big three tonight or today. He hasn't been exactly invincible, but no way that he's an easy at bat either.
Sure.
He's been in 23 games, 21 innings, 17 hits, and has allowed 8 runs. And a couple of homers. And the Padres will have Solarte, Dickerson, and Norris to hit in the bottom of the 9th. That 400th home run of Teixeira, really a big one that took the game from 2-1 to 3-1. A big insurance run for the Yankees trying to avoid the sweep. Low, full count. So he went 3-2 to Rodriguez, got him to ground out sharply to first. Now 3-2 to the leadoff man, Ellsbury. And ball 4, a 1-out walk, and that'll bring up Brett Gardner. Well, it's a big day in baseball history, fans. 1947, Cleveland purchased the contract of Larry Doby from the Newark Eagles of the Negro League. He became the first black player in the American League, and Larry Doby was a terrific player.
Yeah.
Jackie Robinson first with the Dodgers in the National, and Larry Doby for the Cleveland Indians. I saw him play as a kid.
I remember Larry Doby managing the White Sox there for a little bit later on.
Big, strong left-handed hitter, outfielder. So 1 out, and here's Brett Gardner. Ellsbury, a base stealer. You got to watch him. 15 this year.
Well, yeah, you almost bet that he's going to be going right here in this situation at some point in time.
Bluffs this time, and a strike taken by Gardner. That's tough on the hitter. He sees out of the corner of his eye his teammate take that bluff, and you figure, well, I'll take it if he's trying to steal. Then he stays.
Yeah, and good hitters will have that discipline to where it doesn't bother them. Hey, if it's a good pitch, they will hack at it, and if they've got good hand-eye coordination, maybe if it's a breaking ball down low, they will take that pitch, enabling that runner to cruise into second base easily.
So normally with a left-handed hitter, the shortstop would be covering because the second baseman wants to protect on the pull side, and the reverse, the right-handed hitter, the second baseman covering, but they'll mix it up now and then, and that's where you really had to appreciate the skill, talent of Tony Gwynn. Yep. He had the ability, as the pitch is coming, to see which man was covering and still hit the ball.
Yeah.
Now that's tough to do. His concentration, his ability to, you talk about staying back, letting the pitch come all the way. A ball and a strike. Just off the plate. That's where Walcott's really been good. He's called the pitches on Fox tracks around the edge, and just off, he's golden balls. Pretty good pitch.
Yeah, you'd rather miss on that side of the plate rather than the outer third and have Gardner's pelt something the opposite way there into the gap. Pitching them away and playing them away. Dickerson shading the line a little bit, and Melvin Upton Jr. in center field playing on the shortstop side. There's Melvin and there's Dickerson.
Runner goes. High, throw by Norris, not even close, as Ellsbury has pilfered number 16. So another man in scoring position for the Yankees, and they're shut out 0 for 11 runners in scoring position.
I got a tremendous jump, high pitch for Derek Norris, and not even close. Yankees trying to add on here.
Another full count and a line drive, base hit. Gardner delivers. Here comes Ellsbury. The throw to the plate, not cut off. The runner stays at first. 4-1 Yankees. Gardner knocks in his 16th run of the year, and the walk to Ellsbury with the steal pays off for New York.
Oh, that's just good hitting. Almost one-hands that ball and spraying it to the opposite field.
Strong throw by Upton, just a bit up the line.
Good bat control by Gardner.
For a walk, a steal, a single, and it's 4-1 New York. And here's Teixeira. And he hits one high in the air. Is that 401? It's way out there, and he's done it again. Back-to-back home runs for Mark Teixeira. He didn't rest at 400 for very long. 1 inning. And a 3-run Yankee explosion here in the 9th inning to take a close game to 6-1. That was Ruthian.
High curveball that didn't break up above the belt.
So a pair of homers to Teixeira after he started the day by being struck out 3 straight times. That one should have a flight attendant on it. Brian McCann, the batter. The Yankee fans who have been submissive with the Padres winning the first 2, able to express their cheers for Mark Teixeira, his 6th and 7th homers of the year. Battled injuries this year, so he hasn't had his usual at-bats. Line drive, base hit. So they're jumping on Kevin Quackenbush after the hard out by the pinch hitter Rodriguez. A walk, a single, a 2-run homer, and another single. Still only 1 out. McCann on with a single, and Castro comes up. He's 0 for 4 today. 10 hits now for the Yankees. 3 of them homers. Gregorius back in the 4th. That broke the 1-1 tie. Teixeira made it 3-1 with his solo, and now a 2-run homer Teixeira, and Andy Green on the way to the mound to make a change in pitchers, with the Yankees scoring a big 3 here in the 9th. And the score now in New York up 6-1. Bullpen gate is open. Plays of the game, Mark Teixeira, not one, but 2 home runs, and this one was a bomb way back in right center field. 3 runs batted in, and Teixeira breaks open a tight game with 3 runs driven in on those 2 swings. Now 6-1, and the debut of Jose Dominguez as a Padre, called up from El Paso. Not his major league debut. He's had a cup of coffee with the Dodgers in a couple seasons. Last year with Tampa Bay, appeared in 4 games, signed by the Padres, a minor league free agent back in December.
Well, a strikeout pitcher, 36 punch-outs in 35-plus innings. A little high on the walk side, though. That's something that he's got to learn how to hone in those release point on that fastball and cut down on the walks.
Big smile for Teixeira. The 400th, the big one, and he's on his way to the next hurdle at 401. Castro wearing the collar today. Dominguez inherits the runner at first. Tough series for Castro. He's 0 for 10. And he falls behind 2 strikes.
Heavy on the cheese for Dominguez, 97.
That's what attracted the Padres scouts as a free agent. Had to control that hard. Protected swing for Castro. Now the Yankees scored in the second, an unearned run. A home run by Solarte tied it. But that's the last run on the board for the Padres. As Gregorius homered in the 4th to make it 2-1. The Yankees got another in the 8th on Teixeira's solo, and now 3 more here in the 9th to make it 6-1. Breaking ball 1-2.
Well, Chapman can sit down, and Swarzak now gets loose in the Yankee bullpen.
Back to the mound and by the mound. One there, back to first, not even a chance to go to first base. Castro safe on the fielder's choice. 4-6 on the put out of McCann. 2 out to Didi Gregorius. Safe on an error in the 2nd and scored the unearned run and homered Petco Porch in the 4th, a solo. Lined out to 2nd, a fine leaping catch by Schimpf, and grounded to 2nd. .95. Boy, what is it about Sundays, huh? I just can't believe that the Padres have won 1 time on Sunday and lost 11 Sunday games.
Well, the Boomtown Rats once wrote, "I don't like Mondays." It was a huge hit, 1-hit wonder. I don't know who's going to come out with "I don't like Sundays."
I mean, for the Padres, I mean, Sunday should be their day.
Sunday should be fun day, run day.
Yeah. The Friars, that's their day. What book was that in, that they don't win any games on Sunday?
Yeah. Hopefully that book has a lot of pictures, because I don't like to read.
Broken bad roller to first. Look at that. Just step right there, and there's a quick unassisted put out. But the Yankees with 3 in the 9th. It's 6-1. Work to be done. 5-run lead for the Yankees. Let's go to our Carl's Jr. star of the game for the Padres. It's Yangervis Solarte, first time up. Drives that ball the opposite way out of the reach of Brett Gardner for home run number 5 on the year. Then he goes the other way, his second at bat, rips a double past first base. Padres unable to take advantage of it. And then last time back to left field, a base hit. 3 for 3 for Solarte, our Carl's Jr. star of the game. And he leads it off here in the bottom of the 9th inning with Dickerson and Norris to follow. Somebody blowing bubbles out there. The new pitcher is Anthony Swarzak with a 5-run lead. He comes in here in the bottom of the 9th inning instead of Aroldis Chapman. We saw Swarzak on Friday night. Worked an inning and 2/3. Did not allow a hit nor a run. Struck out 1.
Trying to burst the Yankees bubble here late. It's going to take some many base runners and a big hit. It's going to be a challenge.
Low on the first pitch at 92.
Okay, there's been something that's been eating at me, and I want to discuss it.
Oh no.
Aroldis Chapman was warming up in the bullpen for the Yankees.
That ball lined into right field, and a 4 for 4 game for Solarte.
Nice.
Have yourself a Sunday afternoon. Padres have 7 hits, 4 off the bat of Solarte.
Good for him and good for you, Professor. You got him and picked the stick. He's swinging the bat extremely well, even with the Mr. T starter set. Yangervis Solarte, those chains aren't slowing him down. He's having one heck of a day at the dish.
Triple shy of the cycle. 2 singles, a double, and a homer.
There's that Mr. T starter set. He's well on his way. But anyway, get back to Chapman. Did you notice the number he was wearing?
I did not notice.
54. Now, Rich Gossage wore 54 as a Yankee. He is in the National Baseball Hall of Fame as a Yankee. Why isn't that number retired?
That's a good question. Perhaps the Yankees felt he didn't serve that much time, enough time to deserve that. Wasn't a lifetime Yankee. Not that that's a qualification.
But he went in as a Yankee. That's the thing that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that's bothering you. Yeah.
I asked Ken Singleton in between innings, and he said, "You know what?" He kind of shook his head. He said, "You know what, Mark? That's a good question."
Ken Singleton, one of the broadcasters with the Yankees, former great
There's Kenny.
hitter.
He's one of my favorites right there. I love that man. Pretty darn good player back in his day, too.
Oh, yes, he was. Talk about a big guy at the plate. He filled up that batter's box. That ball gets away, and Solarte will move to second base on the wild pitch. And it's 2-1 now to Alex Dickerson, who has struck out, lined into a 1-6 double play, and safe trying to bunt his mid along, sacrifice, but safe on the fielder's choice. And he picked up a steal. Might be his first major league stolen base. It's the first this year. Check the book on him.
Well, it's getting kind of cold in the shade, huh? They got the All-Star towel out to keep you warm.
That's what's beautiful about San Diego, the cool evenings, huh? Out of play. Yes, that was Dickerson's first major league theft. Little notch in the column for him.
They make me a bicycle clown.
Two and two. Ooh, had a good cut, a little high, and couldn't quite get the barrel on that one.
I'd like to see Alex get off the schneid. Strike out, a line out, and a fielder's choice.
Derek Norris to follow. And a full count. 93 from Swarzak. Called up from the AAA club. This is Swarzak's 10th appearance. 11 2/3 innings. He's given up 2 home runs in those 11 2/3. Oh, look who's up. Number 54. He sounds fast.
Yeah, he does.
That ball hit well to right center field, high and deep, and Dickerson will touch them all. Alex Dickerson, second home run of the season, and that's the kind of power he displayed at El Paso and the kind of hitting strength the Padres hope will stay around here for a long time.
Ah, the big kid getting extended. Looking on contact right at the belt buckle. No movement on that bat at all. That's on the sweet spot. Oh, and Dick, it's got that sound.
That's a no-doubter to deep right center. That's 425 plus. And the Padres cut into that lead. It's now 6-3, and Joe Girardi taking no chances, getting rid of Swarzak and going to the bullpen for Aroldis Chapman. So Dickerson and the Padres make it interesting. Bottom of the ninth. Day in San Diego, 42,131 sellout, and they're hanging around the faithful to see if the Padres can come up with a big ninth inning. They got 2 in with no one out on the 2-run homer from Dickerson, and now Aroldis Chapman on the mound.
Well, he has one blown save, 15 for 16. And, you know, you got to look fastball, obviously. 100, he's been clocked as high as 105 in his career.
And the first one off speed at 87. Yankees record when all 3 of them pitch. 13-1. And that's the case today. Another breaking ball.
Just when you're looking for the heater, he pulls the string and he's quickly ahead. 0-2.
Remember when he first came up with the Reds, this left-hander from Cuba, he just reared back and fired it. And he was working on a slider, and they said it gets better and better. And when he's able to keep that in the strike zone, he's really going to be tough. And so it is a 0-2 count to Norris. Fastball at 100 misses.
Well, he's a max effort guy. Every single pitch. Look at that motion. Getting up on top, long stride, and just letting it go, letting it fly.
We had it at 100, the scoreboard at 101, the last pitch. Center field, but Ellsbury's there. Line out off the bat of Morris, one away. Well, in recent times, the last 5.5 seasons, 1,800 plus pitches over 100 miles an hour. That's scary.
That's a lot of torque on the arm there.
Adam Rosales with a left-hander on the mound. He'll hit for Schimpf. Fouls the first one off, and that hurts whoever got the brunt of that one.
Got Brian McCann. 100-mile-an-hour fastball, foul tip. Where to get him? Off the right shoulder. Ouch, man.
Oh, boy. Not only the speed, but then the spin put on by the foul tip. Out in front, off speed, 0-2.
Oh, throwing the changeup now, really?
88, that's a fastball for some normal folks.
It's not fair.
It's interesting, the for trade sign has been out on this left-hander. Let's see whether or not the Yankees indeed deal him.
I found Nemo.
Swing and a miss at 99. 2 away. That's the 12th strikeout by Yankee pitching today.
Well, throwing changeups, throwing breaking balls, and look at this one. Wow.
Swinging at a whisper.
That is the Linda Ronstadt fastball. Blue by you.
Just don't hum it. He does that. Chapman hums.
That's right. Yeah, he does.
Ramirez wearing the collar today. And he gets a breaking ball to start. 6-3 Yankees. All 3 runs for the Padres on home runs. Solo Solarte, 2-run shot Dickerson. And 4 of the 6 runs for the Yankees via the home run. Gregorius, number 9, and Teixeira is 6th and 7th. The 7th inning, or the 7th home run here in the 9th inning, a 2-run shot. And that's the big one now. And the Padres down to their last strike at 99, that fastball. Figure that Chapman's going to rear back and fire one more heater. Ground ball pulled weakly to third. And the ball game is over. The Yankees salvage the final game. Padres unable to come up